This is Meri at the Meri Atelier, and I am ready to unwrap the bundle that I bundled yesterday for my eco dyeing project. I used aluminum lactate to mortar my fabric, which is a new experience for me and why I want to try this. I'm not a big eco dyeing person, but I do like to experiment. So my bundle is wet, and that's how K3N Cloth Tales. I am following K3N Cloth Tales. I will put a link to her videos of how she did this in my description box below. I also want to say this will be a long form video. I am not going live because I saw some folks on who I know. I do not like to go live when somebody else that I know personally and who I follow is live. So we'll see how this goes. I might have to pop up and check my camera every now and then. So I'm going to take it out of the pan for now. And I'm going to take this fabric, I'm going to squeeze the water out of it. And I will wash all of this. I will rinse it all out. This fabric was a rust dyed fabric that I had not rinsed out previously. And it's dark. Everything will dry lighter, which makes me think this will dry much lighter, but we'll see. We'll test it. So just let me take this out. I'm going to take my bundle out and squeeze water out of it. And I will throw this water away because it's rusty. And I should probably put gloves on. I didn't think about it, and my hands are in there now. So I'm going to get as much water out of this as I can. Drain the juice out of it. And then I am going to throw this water, because I want the pan, I'm going to put the water in this jar and I will dump it out. I will not keep the water. It's rusty mud, but I may keep some of the rust down below. Let's put a lid on this so I don't spill it, and that will be tossed. So, do I want to put this, yeah, here. I do have newspapers out here to protect my desk. I don't have a lot of room on my desk. I think I'll just put it like this for now, and we'll see what happens here. Let me tip my camera just a little. There we go. I do not want this video to be extremely long, but it will probably be, well, as long as it takes me. I'm not going to save my thread. I'm just going to cut it off. I will throw it away because I just don't want to fool with it. K3N, Catherine Chambers at K3N Cloth Tales, is who inspired me to do this. And she saves her threads, but I'm not going to. I've got plenty. Now I do have some thread like this in my dye pot right now. I didn't pull it out when I pulled this other out. So I'm thinking that if I just get it all on this side, I can pull it off and throw it away. Those aren't threads, those are folds. Let's see if I can just pull. I might have to do some more clipping here. I want to make sure you're seeing me. You are. I have to jump out of my chair because I'm not live, so I cannot see what's going on up there while I'm seated down here. I may have wrapped this too much on the outside. I'm a little bit concerned about that, because I put several cloths, but I didn't want my leaves to fall out either. Now she got really pretty string prints on hers. I see a few on mine, and maybe as it dries I'll see more. The prints of where the string were. The strings were. Alright, I just want to throw the string away. I'm going to save the fabric, of course. Alright, let's just take this, and I'm going to toss it. Well, I have to have a bag to toss it in. Let me reach for one. Well, I don't have one available. Can you believe that? They all have something in them. I'll just leave it in this pan, leave this in this pan, take this out. Oh, look, here's a metal piece. Let's save the metals. And I'm just going to set this first pan down below. And let's start unwrapping this. Now I want to check again and make sure you can see. It looks like you can. Well, it got my second layer colored. And that's all I expected, because I did not have leaves between these. So, I'm checking for the string marks. Oh yes, it did leave some. It left some where I had it folded, but I can see some string marks in there. And I'm going to have to rinse this. And it will get lighter as I rinse it. Let's see. The issue that I'm going to have is that I don't have enough room on my desk for everything. And you can see some string marks going both ways on this one. And it got rusty, and I'm sure this may wash out. We'll see. I don't know if that's from a leaf or if that's just, it doesn't look like it's peeling off. These are just the outer fabrics. Ooh, I am liking it so far. Now this will all have to be rinsed because I used that rusty piece of fabric over it. Alright, now we're getting into where the leaves were. Oh, let's see what's going on here. I'm not going to save my leaves. That's a piece of fabric in there. I'm not sure if they imprinted on this. I'm not sure what went on. It was over a piece of lace. I'm not sure exactly what happened here. They're black and ooey gooey, and I do not have my gloves on. Well, if anything, it darkened my fabric. So far, I'm not, well, maybe a little there. Let me fold this out. I really doubled it up. Well, I'm seeing very faint images on this lacy piece, but the lace is very textured. I'm seeing something going on in there with the metal pieces. I'm going to put over here. She saved her leaves, but I think mine are beyond saving. There's a lot of metal on this first layer here, and metal and leaves. This one did not rust. I'm going to throw it. I don't have a use for that. Well, I'll put it with my leaves, because I'm going to toss my leaves. So I think it just kind of grayed this lace. Well, it got some dark pink in there. What are you seeing? What are you seeing? Of course, there wasn't a whole lot for the lace to grab onto the leaves. It's a pretty small piece of lace, but it did get darker in some spots, and we'll see how it is when I rinse it. This fabric all needs to be rinsed. All right, more metal in here. That's just a twig. I'm going to throw that. Alrighty. We're getting down to the paper, and I think it did leave somewhat of a print on the paper. Oh, I'm loving this piece of paper. That is not, well, it's leaf on the back. So it printed on the papers here. So if I do this again, and I can, I'm going to do it with paper. This is beautiful. This is a beautiful print on paper. I'm loving that. Where am I going to put it? I really need to dig out some bags here. Let me see if I can grab a Hobby Lobby bag that's just surrounding one box here. And let's throw the trash in here. And of course that'll sit in my lap. All right, I'm going to pull out leaves and then I'll throw them in the trash as I go here. There should be more paper in here, so I've got to be careful. I think it's hitting some of the fabric down here. I haven't been able to tell yet. I think this is paper. These are papers, but man, I'll tell you, no, I think there's a fabric on this right here. Those are leaves. So this was a rusty fabric, and it just got dark. It's got a leaf on it on this side. It just got dark, and I don't know. It was pretty dark to start with. I'll rinse it and see how clean it comes out. Boy, the leaves are plastered on there. I think I got them all. There's no imprints on it, but it was dark to start with, so I'm not too disappointed with that. And some metal pieces. Well, I got one piece of paper that I liked. I don't know what happened. Oh, here's another piece. I didn't put much paper in here. But I see a few prints on this, if I can get it off. I think I'm going to do one with just paper. I think I'm liking what's going on there. Hopefully I can get outside before it gets too cold or the leaves dry up too much and get some more paper. I mean, some more leaves. I think there are still some on the trees, but we had a pretty cold night last night. Alright, I am seeing some imprints on this fabric over here. If I can get to it. I think this is a piece of paper, but you gotta be gentle with the paper. It looks like it folded up on my leaf here. There's a tear here. If I can lift it up there. This might just be, this won't be a full page. And I'm going to leave the rest on it and let it dry. Let's put it way over here. Looks like there's a piece of that paper stuck on here. Too bad. I'm going to throw it. I'll do a separate paper piece. Some more of the metal. Let me throw these leaves away. Yes, I will be making a trip out to the trash bin this afternoon. I'm cooking some vegetable soup right now. Alright. So I am seeing prints. They're not ultra clear, but I am seeing some things happen here. In here, this is not a leaf. There's some leaves on the underneath. That's a leaf. No, that's a print. And it goes over to here. Is that another paper? No, those are leaves. So maybe I should have used smaller pieces of fabric. Yeah, there's paper there. I think my paper should have been done separately. But that's okay. I'm new at this. Ooh, I'm loving this one. Look at this. That's print. So I would say, just from what I'm seeing here, I'm liking it. I'm getting some success out of it. And I used a fairly large piece of fabric, so I can, if it's not suiting me, I'm going to turn this over and get the underneath of it. I think this is paper. This was a piece of rusty paper with a leaf on it. And geez, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. If it dries nice enough, I'm going to put it in the pan behind me. If I could dry it flat, it was a piece of paper like, maybe I'll just put it on, it was a piece of paper like this. And it will dry much lighter. But I may be able to get a little part of a page or a collage on there. Let's just set that aside and let it dry. But I can use this rusty paper. I'll need to maybe rinse it a little, and I can do that because it feels a little gritty. Alright, let's see what else I have here. These big fat leaves. I think they made a pretty imprint. I think those were hydrangea leaves. Or we have some volunteer, my brother calls them trees. I don't know if they're really trees or not, but they have these big fat leaves. I didn't see much of a print there, but I'm seeing something going on over here. Yeah, I'm seeing something in there. I think I'm liking it. Let me grab this again. Throw the wet leaves away in my sack over here. So yeah, I'm getting definite prints. Not that one, but and some of these are leaves that are just left on here, but there are some definite prints going on in here. So when I rinse it, maybe yeah, I'm liking it. I'm just going to put it over here. All this fabric is going to get rinsed, so. And I think K3N let hers dry and put it between book pages, heavy book pages. I don't think she dried them. She let them dry naturally, but she had smaller pieces. I'm not sure how I could spread these larger pieces out to dry. I might have to cut them. And I haven't completely decided. And here's something else. She did a cover. But you know what? For her journal, she did a stiff cover for her journal. I did not do that. But I could use some of this larger fabric for a cover and maybe stitch on it after it's all dried and use one of these larger pieces of fabric for a cover. Now this one has a lot of background color. I don't see a lot of prints, but let me get the leaves off. There are a few. I see something going on in there. If I hold it up to the light, you probably can't see, but when I hold this vertically up to the light, I see imprints. See, I see a very distinct imprint right there. And that could maybe make a page or a portion of a page going this way, depending on my journal. I see an imprint here, and then I'm back to the leaves here. Ew! It's wet and yucky. Now I am saving I still have fabric soaking. I don't think I'm going to do any more fabric. I think I'm going to do some papers. But I do have lactate water that I'm going to save. But she does not mordant her paper, so I won't need to do that. And I'll probably use mixed media paper, maybe some ledger paper if I can find some that's thick enough. Well, I think I've had better success with this than I did my last attempt at eco-dyeing. And I will rinse this fabric, and when it dries, a lot of this color will fade. But I think some of the prints will be more evident on it. I don't know. We'll find out. Because when I hold it up to the light, I'm trying to get leaves off. I do see imprints in there. Like in here. Let me see what you're seeing again. Let me stand up. I've been going for 26 minutes. Maybe if I move this up just a little. I am happy with this. It's a metal piece. Nice imprint there. That is not a leaf. That is a print right there. I don't see a whole lot of other prints. I see modeling. Let's see what's going on down here. It's got darker in there. Yeah, I don't see a lot of imprinting in here. It's just dark. But that's okay. I'm happy with that too. So let's put that aside, get more of this gunky stuff. I sat on my leaves, no wet leaves. But luckily they were inside of the sack. Yuck. But this is the type of leaf that when it sits for a year or two, it makes good dirt out in your garden. All right, I'm down to a lot of the metal pieces here, so I've got to be careful. Safety pins. I don't know if I see much imprinting from those. What's going on there? They probably made more rust than anything. Oh, these leaves got terribly dark. That's a pretty leaf. That survived the ordeal. If anything, it rusted up my keys for me. This is all metal bits. leaves. Well, I am getting some off of that one in there. When I do the papers, of course, you know, my papers are not going to be as big as my fabrics. I probably should have made my fabrics a little smaller, but I wanted to see how they would act. I think that's a print. Can't get any leaves off of that. So I'm getting something in there. So what happened here? Nothing. But that's okay too. It's okay. This is a nice print. That's a print. That's not a leaf. Is it a leaf on the other side? No, it's a print. Turn this upside down, and I do have that metal plate in here someplace. Yeah, that didn't do much. That big leaf. I have a piece of, that's not wire, this is plant matter. Stems. I'm seeing something of an imprint in there. You know, it doesn't have to be, it's nice if it shows a beautiful leaf, but if that doesn't happen, that's okay. Some of this stuff I might have to let the fabric dry and scrape away some of the gunk, the leafy stuff. It made it awfully dark. And I have a feeling that there's some leafy bits in there that will come out when it dries. Okay. I did not see this make much of a print. It probably was not. I'm going to try it again with paper. It probably didn't have the right, it wasn't situated right. Alright, so this is all, I've loaded it down over here. Let me get this out. Some metal bits. Well, if anything, it got it discolored. That's a print. That's a print of sorts, I think. This is that lacy piece. I'm not too unhappy with it. Now let's get, I've got metal pieces down in here that need to be pulled out. I'm wondering if maybe I bundled that too tight too to get very distinct prints. I'm not going to bundle the next one with so many layers on the outside. I'm not unhappy. We will let these dry. I will have to spread them out someplace. My poor brother. He says, "You're worse than my fishing stuff." A little screw. That's a stem. Alrighty. So I'm going to stand up here and go through the fabrics here so that I can see what I have. These are still wet. Let's take it off of the... Let's turn this upside down like this while I'm going through this. I can see a washer print there. And of course, as I said, this is the lace piece. So I can see where a leaf shape in here, where it blocked the color around it. And I can kind of see that same thing happening in here. But the lace is very textured. So, and I think that's either a leaf or I don't feel like peeling off. So that might be a nice print right there. And then the rest is just, but I didn't expect much on the lace. Now, if it weren't so windy out, I could put these outside to dry. I might try it. Put them out on the front porch and put bricks on them. Alright, I'm just going to tuck it underneath for now. Let's look at this one. I think the plain fabrics did a little bit better. Got a print there. That is not a leaf. I mean, that's a print of a leaf. That isn't. Some of these are leaves that I can peel off yet. Here's one down here that needs to come off. That's a print in there. So I don't think I got the same results as K3N did. Because I think my fabric is so large, it's kind of unmanageable. And I'm going to fold these now, but I'll be, I won't be doing that forever. So leave. I'll be spreading them out on the porch. This is, I think this is that rusty fabric, and it got very dark. We'll see how it dries. We'll see if I get some kind of prints out of there. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to rinse these and set them out on the porch to dry. I'm going to have to really hold them down with bricks or whatever, flower pots, and so they don't blow away. Oh, my beautiful dies. Now, I think this one did pretty good. I can see prints in it. This one may end up being the cover. Look at that one. And I got more over in here. Some's on the back. So I'll know more when they're rinsed and dried. And this is a piece of rusty fabric that just got totally dark. Because it was rusty to start with. Boy. Alright. And when I rinse these, I'll rinse them one at a time in the pot. And then this is the lace. Nothing really too earth-shattering except for it got colored, but I think a lot of this will wash out. But I'm okay with that. I have a great big spool of it. And we got a piece here. I think this had some prints on it. Did it have prints on it? I don't remember. A few. So I think I've had better success at doing it this time than I did last time. But I think I still need to, I think I made my fabric too large and manageable. And there's still things I have to learn. And this was the outside piece where I do see pieces, well, folds in there too, but I see string marks in there. We'll see how this rinses and dries. So let's put the fabric pieces in here, and I'll take them and rinse them out. And let's throw away the, let me put this behind me. We'll put the metal pieces in here and let them kind of dry out. Some leaves in there. And I'll put those in a bag. I still have the little paper pieces here. We'll let them dry. A couple of successful paper pieces. But the next one I'm going to do is going to be all paper. And I might do that next week. So I'm just going to let these sit and dry. And then I'll put them in a baggie. And let's see, I've got my metal pieces here. These will come off better, I think, on the paper. I've got two more of those. Here's a paper. This paper came out good. I got one good paper. Don't want to throw that away. I think that's all the metal that I see right now. Let me put this behind me. And let's just throw the newspaper away. Oh, there's my desk. Lo and behold, she's got a desk. And I'll be taking the leafy trash, the leaves out to the trash. And I've got some extra paper to go out with it. So I'm going to go rinse my fabrics, and I'll set them out on the porch to dry and make sure that they're all flattened down. These are metal pieces here that I can use again, and here are my fabrics. So I want to thank you for watching. I've been on about 45 minutes. And I will be on tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock for sure. I'm not planning anything big tomorrow. So have a really great day. Go do something you enjoy, like art. Bye.